All right, Dave, let's start with Kershaw. Last night after the game, you said game 4, no doubt. Is that something that's going to be reassessed as the week goes on?
I don't think so. For me, there's certain people that get you here that have to get you across the finish line, and this is his role on our ball club. And so, game 4 is a ways away, but my thought is learn from the outing and continue to get better, and have him start game 4. So. Could things somehow change in some crazy world? Maybe, but for me, as I sit here, we're focused on game 2, and then pick up the pieces and see what game 3 looks like. And I can't even sit here right now and tell you what game 3 looks like. But what I do know is that for us to accomplish what we want to this year, we're going to need Clayton Kershaw to start baseball games. And I got all the confidence in the world that he can do that, and he's going to be just fine.
He insists that what happened last night was not in any way health related. What do you see that tells you the shoulder isn't compromising his stuff to the point where he can't be affected?
I really don't believe that it's health. I don't. I think that sometimes, as Clayton did yesterday, is you just got to take your medicine and say I just wasn't good enough on that particular outing. If you look at the stuff, everything. Was actually a tick up from what it's been. So the recovery, the stuff in game, doesn't speak to anything with the arm. So for me, it was one of those days that you tip your hat to those guys, and they executed a game plan, and we've got to learn from it, get better. But it's nothing to do with the injury, the shoulder, nothing.
Baby.
In reviewing last night, were you able to decipher anything that sort of was off Clayton besides obviously them being as aggressive as they were early in the game?
I just think that Clayton throws a lot of strikes, and so you could just see that he likes to get ahead, and they were aggressive, and so I think that's kind of when you have so much familiarity with a team, a pitcher, that's part of it. So it's kind of the cat and mouse, and they were aggressive, and then there was stress early on, and then you just can't really get settled in, and to their credit, they jumped on him early.
Clayton, when he had struggled the last couple months here, a lot of it was he didn't have command, he was walking guys. He said last night he felt like he made some good pitches. Will said the stuff looked normal for him. Does that almost make it more concerning in some ways if the stuff was kind of playing somewhere how he wanted it and they were able to attack it like that?
I think that's fair. I would still bet on the stuff being good than the stuff being down and not sharp. So now it's kind of how we attack these guys, and again, we're looking to see these guys, in game 4. So they're going to have to kind of. It's a game of adjustments. It really is, and so I still stand by the fact that he's healthy. The stuff played out, and now we just got to make better pitches.
What does it tell you as a manager when the other team is swinging as much as they were early in counts against him last night and big swings against him too?
Yeah, I just think that that's one of the things that, it's a great thing that he throws strikes, and I guess the other side is it's does he throw too many strikes? But he's been great for a long time, but I'll tell you this, I know that Clayton is going to do his homework and reassess, and he's healthy, and we're going to come up with a really good game plan, and the results are going to be completely different, and I just believe that to my core. So I'm just grateful that he's healthy. Today, in talking to him, he's fine, and so we just got to put ourselves in a position to get him back there in Arizona.
Andy.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't gone on 4 days since like May. Do you have concerns of just how he will bounce back?
I think initially, looking at kind of how this is going to play out, there was maybe some once we get there, how's it going to look? But considering what happened last night, I think that we've got a lot of bullets left. So the regular, I don't think is going to be too. It's not going to be costly, in my opinion.
And you mentioned just you don't know how game 3 is going to be. Do you essentially have to put him in game 4 to manage these next 2 nights?
For me, that's the best option, and I see it as the only option. So I'm going to manage game 2 like it's game 7, and I'm going to do the same thing for game 3. And I do think that that's kind of how the fallout will be. But again, could things change? Possibly, yeah. But I still got all the confidence in our guys preventing runs and using them in the right way and the best possible way to win baseball games. But yeah, I think the fallout, is Clayton starting game 4.
Dave, you've talked about the rookies a lot. Yesterday, Dave said the nerves kind of get the best of him. How confident are you that won't happen to Bobby, given the stakes of the game now?
You just don't know until you know. I expect him to have some nerves. I think that's a good thing. That's normal. But once you get out there, you make your first pitch. I would assume that things kind of slow down, and that's kind of my expectation.
Do you have to have any conversations with him? I mean, for him not to try and put it all on himself?
No. I think that, I think Mark Pryor does a great job of he's a calming presence. Will, behind the plate, very calming. And so I think that, him being at home, I think is a good thing for his first playoff start. So I think, but I'm not going to have a conversation with him yet, unless I see something different,
How do you use today to kind of regroup after last night, and do you prefer having the off day after a game like last night, or would you rather that you guys return around and playing again today?
I'm okay with the off day. There's a big group here of guys that are trying to, guys want to show up and work out, which is great. I think the off day might kind of hopefully cool those bats down on the other side. So yeah, I'm good with it. Our pen, the pitching, everything's lined up. I feel good about where we're at. So yeah, I'm okay with it.
Dave, I know Clayton doesn't like it, but was there any thought to sending Pryor out at some point just to kind of get him to maybe slow down a little or something?
Beth, I think it's sort of, I think, it happened so dang quick, and it's not like there were walks in there. There was a Thomas walk late, but it's not like he was struggling throwing strikes. So, typically, for a guy like that that's been around for so long, when you're seeing 3 pitches and then, hit, and then, after that Moreno at bat, the homer, could we have went out there? Sure. We probably could have done it after that Moreno at bat, but I think before that, I don't think that there was really a thought to do that.
Let me take you back to 2020 for just a second on a different topic. You guys were obviously in Texas for all those games. The Rangers weren't even being, a factor in their own ballpark that year. Now they're going to be able to play in the playoffs for the first time. Not focusing on the COVID so much, but kind of what do you remember about that time where it was, you guys were in their clubhouse, you were playing only in front of about 12,000 people, it was kind of odd atmosphere. What do you kind of remember about that whole experience?
I think that experience, the word bubble really resonates. We were essentially in a bubble, and it was us and our families and the other team, ironically, and we were all together. And so there was no travel, there were no distractions. It was sort of point A to point B. And so I think that was galvanizing for our team. We spent a lot of time at Globe Life. So yeah, the no fans early, and then there were fans. Just certainly a unique experience. But I think the thing that stands out the most is that, we're going to get on a plane tomorrow night. And we didn't do that for quite some time. And that, I think, brought our guys together a lot. So that was something, and you played a lot of games in a row. So you can't obviously simulate that now, but I think that kind of was a benefit to our guys.